Good morning. I'm Dr. Mark, animal advocate, author, journalist, and a speaker. Today's message draws from Proverbs, Genesis, and Matthew. Proverbs 12:10 tells us, "The righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel." From the very beginning in Genesis, God entrusted creation to humankind. Let them have dominion over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And in Matthew 25, Jesus reminds us that whatever we do to the least of these, we also do to him. These words set the foundation for how we call to live, with mercy, stewardship, and responsibility. Yet this week, I want to bring before you a painful reality that shows what happens when mercy is misused. Mercy is one of the greatest gifts of God. It is compassion in action. It is relief for those who suffer. In Scripture, mercy is always tied to love, righteousness, forgiveness, to the lifting of burdens. The very word euthanasia means good death. In its truest sense, it was meant as a merciful act when no healing was possible and suffering was too great. But what happens when mercy is taken out of true purpose and used instead for convenience? What happens when the word mercy becomes a cover for failure? In shelters across our country, thousands, and I mean thousands, of healthy, adoptable animals do not make it out alive. Not because they're dangerous, not because they are beyond help, but because space runs out, because resources run out, because silence has allowed a broken system to continue. Think about that for a moment. Dogs wagging their tails when someone walks by, cats pressing against the kennel, doors waiting for a gentle hand. These are not lost causes. These are lives with potential, lives with hope, lives with love to give. And yet, they're cut short because we, as communities, did not find room for them. This is not the mercy God speaks about in Scripture. This is not the righteousness Proverbs calls us to do. It is the opposite, a misuse of mercy, where what was intended for compassion is turned into a management tool. And friends, this has a cost that goes beyond numbers and statistics. It weighs heavily on shelter workers who entered this field to save lives, to help animals, not to end them. They carry heartbreak day after day, often unseen by the public. It weighs on rescuers who stretch themselves thin, opening their homes, their wallets, and their hearts, trying to carry what the system will not. And it weighs on our communities, even if we do not see it clearly. Because every time life is lost needlessly, something in us is diminished. Our silence chips away at our compassion. Our nation, our inaction hardens our hearts, according to Jesus. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. What does it mean for us if we allow mercy to be replaced by convenience? What does it mean if we turn away from the creatures God has placed in our care? We cannot ignore that God gave us dominion, but dominion was never about domination. It was about stewardship. To tend, to protect, to care. Isaiah 58:12 says, "You will be called the repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings." God calls His people to repair what is broken, to restore what has been neglected. So what does that mean for us today? It means adoption is not just an act of kindness. It is an act of faith. Fostering is not just helping an animal. It is practicing stewardship, supporting shelters, speaking to leaders, volunteering time. These are not just good deeds. These are ways of aligning our lives with God's command to show mercy. Friends, the misuse of mercy in our shelters is a wound on our society. But wounds can heal. Systems can change. Hearts can be moved. The question is, will we remain silent? Or will we step into the role God has given us as caretakers of His creation? Will we see animals as disposable, or will we honor them as living beings entrusted to us by our Creator? Mercy is more than a word. It is a way of life. And when we choose real mercy, not convenience, not silence, but true compassion, we reflect the heart of God Himself. Thank you for listening. I'll be here every Sunday morning with another message drawn from Scripture and the soul. I hope you'll join me. Until then, may your heart stay tender and your actions reflect compassion. I'm Dr. Mark. Good day.